Hey guys! Alright, today we are going to talk about how to find the area of a trapezoid. Make sure you write down everything you see on the screen and make sure you write down everything I write down. Your objective for today, you will be able to calculate the area of a trapezoid. Alright, first of all, a trapezoid is just a quadrilateral that has one pair of parallel sides. So if you look at this trapezoid right here, the top side and the bottom side, those are going to be parallel, and you don't have to scribble that in like I did. Those are parallel because if this keeps going forever and ever, if this keeps going forever and ever, those sides are never going to meet. Now, and again, you don't have to write down what I scribble. If we take this side and this side, eventually they're going to come together and meet. So those are not going to be parallel. Now, the sides that are parallel to each other, that's going to be base 1 and base 2, and they are always parallel. So make a note that this B stands for the base. So as you can see here, base 1 and base 2 are the parallel sides. Now, a trick to remember that. Do you guys know what a bass guitar is? Well, a bass guitar is just a guitar that has 4 strings. So it looks like this. Now, the strings on any kind of guitar are going to be parallel to one another. You notice those strings, they're not touching right here. So when you're looking at a trapezoid, to find base 1 and base 2, think of the strings on a bass guitar. So these are going to be parallel, just like those strings. Alright, the height, just like we learned with a triangle and a quadrilateral, that's going to be perpendicular to the bases. So as you can see here, the height, it's intersecting at a right angle with both base 1 and with base 2. Now the formula for area of a trapezoid, we take the base 1 plus base 2, multiply it times the height, and then take half of that. Probably sounds like a bunch of baloney right now, so let's look at this right here because this is what we're going to stick with in the video. If we take half of something, that's the same as dividing by 2. So we're just going to take base 1 and base 2, add them together, multiply that times the height, then we're going to take all of that and divide by 2. So let's go ahead and do an example together. Alright, first of all, let's talk about the steps. We want to identify parts, write the formula, substitute information into the formula, and then solve. So example 1, we have this trapezoid right here. So the first thing I want to do is identify the parts. So I want to look for the parallel sides. That's going to be this top and this bottom. If those go on and on forever, they are never going to meet. So 3 and 8 are my bases. So I am going to label 8 as my base 1, and 3, I'm going to make that base 2. The height intersects perpendicularly, so that's going to be this side right here. This side right here, it does not intersect perpendicularly, it's not parallel with any of the other sides, so it's not a base, it's not a height, so we're just going to ignore the 5. Alright, now that we've identified the parts, we're going to write down the formula. So, area equals, in parentheses, I'm going to put base 1 plus base 2, close parentheses, times the height, and I'm going to take all of that and divide by 2. So now I just want to substitute in what I know. So the area equals, and in parentheses, I have a base 1 of 8 plus the second base of 3, close parentheses, times a height of 4, all that's going to be divided by 2. Now we have to follow order of operations. That means we're using PEMDAS. First thing I want to do is what's in the parentheses, so that would be 8 plus 3, which we know is 11. So I now have 11 times 4 divided by 2. Now, whenever I have something like this, I want to solve the top first before I divide by the bottom. So we know 11 times 4 is 44. So I have 44 divided by 2. And we know 44 divided by 2 is 22. So the area is 22 feet squared. Keep in mind, area is always squared. Alright, example 2, we want to find the area of this trapezoid. So we want to identify the bases. So we want to see what is parallel to the other side, just like the strings on a bass guitar. So as we can see here, the top and the bottom are parallel to one another. So I'm going to label the bottom bass 1 and I'll label the top bass 2. The height intersects perpendicularly with the bases, so that would be this 8 feet right here. So there's our height. Now I want to write the formula. So area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. Now I'm going to substitute the information. So area equals 22 plus 10 times 8 divided by 2. We know that 22 plus 10 is 32. So I have 32 times 8 divided by 2. Remember, we solve what's in the parentheses first. Alright. Now I want to solve the top before I divide by the bottom. So 32 times 8, I'm going to come over here and work that out. 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. So I have 256 divided by 2. Again, I'm going to come out to the side and work that out. Remember, top dog goes in the house. 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 5 2 times. And 2 goes into 16 8 times. So that means the area equals 128 feet squared. Alright, example 3, we want to find the area of the shaded region. So we're only finding the area of these parts right here. Alright, well first of all, we need to think about what shapes we see. So obviously, we see a triangle right here. So there's a triangle, and then all together, this whole entire thing, we'll notice it has one pair of parallel sides, and then this other pair is not parallel. So that means we've got a trapezoid. So we just want this shaded region. So we're going to have to find the area of the entire trapezoid. We're going to have to subtract out the area of this triangle. So that means we're going to need area of both the trapezoid and the triangle formulas. So I need formulas for area for both of these. Alright, so the first thing that I am going to do is I am going to find the area of this trapezoid right here. And I am going to keep my work separated. So for the trapezoid, I need to identify my parts. So I have this base here and this base on the bottom. Now I want to take the whole entire thing, which is 22. So I'm going to make this base 1. Then up here, this is going to be base 2. And I know that my height is 12. So area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. I want to substitute in. So that's going to be 22 plus 18 times the height divided by 2. Oh, I'm sorry. That would help if I actually wrote the height down. The height is 12 divided by 2. Alright, solve what's in parentheses first. We have 22 plus 18. Well, 22 plus 10 is 32, and 32 plus 8 is 40. So that means area equals 40 times 12 divided by 2. Got to solve the top first. We know that 12 times 4 is 48, so we're just going to add a 0 to the end of that. So we have 480 divided by 2. Same thing here. 48 divided by 2 is 24. So that means 480 divided by 2 equals 240. So the area of the trapezoid is 240 meters squared. Now we're not done. We still have to find the area of the triangle. So let's look at this triangle right here. we already know our height is 12. That worked out quite conveniently. The height of the triangle is the same as the height for the trapezoid. But now we need to find the base of the triangle. So the height intersects perpendicularly with this part here, which we see on this triangle measures 16. So 16 is going to be the base for the triangle. Alright, so now I want to write the formula. So area of a triangle equals base times height divided by 2. So that's going to be a base of 16 times a height of 12 divided by 2. I'm going to come out to the side here and work out 16 times 12. Alright, 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Put a 0. 6 times 1 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. And then I'm just going to add that together, and I get 192. So my area equals 192 divided by 2. And I'm going to come out to the side, and I am going to work that part out. So I'm going to work that out right here. Alright, 2 goes into 19 9 times, which is 18. Get a remainder of 1, carry down the 2. 2 goes into 12 6 times. So that means the area of this triangle equals 96 meters squared. Now we're still not done. We want to find the area of the shaded region. So that means I need to take the area of this trapezoid and subtract out the triangle. So I have an area of 240. And I'm going to separate this out here. I apologize, it's a terrible looking line. So I have an area of 240 for the trapezoid. I'm going to subtract the area of 96 for the triangle. Alright, I've got to borrow. So 10 minus 6 is 4. Got to borrow again. 13 minus 9 is 4. And then bring the 1 down. So the area of the shaded region is 144 meters squared. Alright, now it's time for you to try. So we want you to find the area of this trapezoid right here. It's just a simple area of a trapezoid problem. It's not like example 3, don't worry. Make sure you show all of your work so that you can get full credit on your notes. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next class day.